morning, Blue Lulus. How you doing? How are you guys talking to your daughters about this whole Floridian billionaire situation? Because I can't imagine how challenging it must be in this time to watch this horrible person who has been accused of all of these horrible things dozens and dozens of times. All the pictures, all the videos, all of the clear mountain of evidence. You don't need a list, right? We know what has happened here. We know who he is, and yet half of our country, so many people in power continue to make excuses for him. How do we protect our children from that? I'm lucky that my daughter is only 4 years old, so I don't really have to have that conversation with her right now, but I know that I will need to because she's beautiful. And I know every parent thinks that they have the most beautiful child ever, but like, she really is. She's astoundingly gorgeous, and I'm just so glad that she's mean. Like, what if she wasn't? Because it makes me think back on all the times where I can tell, looking back, that I was this close to being put in situations similar to the ones that we're reading about every day right now. When I was in high school, I was a cheerleader, and after one of the basketball games one day, our coach, not my cheerleading coach, but like our big sports director coach, was in the gym, and he was holding this bright pink highlighter, and he looks at me and he goes, "You know what, you are one of the top 10 most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life, and your lips would look perfectly kissable in this color." And luckily I was mean too, so I was like, "Ew, gross, you disgusting old man, don't talk to me like that, get out of here." But like, what if I wasn't that mean? What if I hadn't reacted in that way? How would he have reacted if I had responded in any other way than like, "Ew, you're disgusting, don't talk to me"? And how many other women just like would never have said anything like that? So like, I think that my biggest tool moving forward in teaching my daughter how to be in this crazy world where men just make excuses for other disgusting men is just to teach her to F politeness. Just like my favorite podcast, My Favorite Murder, says, F politeness. You do not have to be sweet, kind, or nice to any man in any situation if they ever make you feel uncomfortable. And we have to stop protecting them. We have to stop making excuses for them. And we cannot, under any circumstances, continue to prosecute the people who do try to protect them. Because did you hear about this man who's in, I believe, Arkansas? So what had happened was there was a guy who was stalking this man's 13-year-old daughter for years. He had been talking to her on the internet. He had started to exchange, not so nice things with her. The parents found out about it. They got a protective order, and this man wound up going to jail. He went to jail for a little while, and then he got out. Well, one night they hear a sound in their house. They wake up, they go into their daughter's room, and she's missing. And so the mom calls the police, and the dad looks out the window, and he sees that his daughter is being put into the truck of the person who's not supposed to be anywhere near her. So he gets into his own truck. He goes barreling after them. He's trying to get this guy to pull over. He won't pull over. And the dad rams his truck into the truck of his daughter's attacker, and he runs him off the road, basically. The dad pulls the guy out of the truck. A fight ensues, and the dad winds up the attacker. The dad calls the police. He tells them exactly what happened, and when the police arrive, they basically say that since this had occurred, since this person is no longer with us, that they have to put him in the back of the cop car. The dad's like, "Fine, it's whatever, I'll go down to the station with you." And when the dad gets in the back of the police car, there's like party favor paraphernalia on the seat, allegedly. And so he's like, "What is this? This isn't mine. Why is this sitting there?" And the cops were like, "Oh no, that has to be yours. We just cleared out that seat." Turns out this man's daughter's attacker used to be a cop. He's friends with the people who came to the scene and arrested the person who was just protecting his daughter. And now this man is facing charges of the Moida type. How is this possible? How are we in a situation where we can't even protect our own children from people like this? Thank God that that man will get to testify in front of a jury of his peers, because all you need is one out of those 12 people to be a parent, and I guarantee you, you're going to be just fine, because I would never, ever find somebody guilty of anything like that in that situation. No, that man was well within his rights to protect his daughter, because me and anybody else that I know would do the exact same thing. But the more and more I see what's happening right now with this Floridian billionaire situation, I'm starting to realize that that fierce animal protective instinct that I have is not as prevalent as I would like to believe. What's wrong with you? If you don't want to save small children, you need to look into that. It's been said that the symbol of America should not be an eagle, it should be a pendulum, going from one side to the other. And I hope that as we are pulling this pendulum way over here, that it swings back towards good, wholesome, protective men, like the man who protected his daughter in that instance. I hope that when we get to do this again, when we get to choose new leadership, that we choose strong, protective men with integrity who would never dream of doing anything like that. Men who will teach other men that it's repulsive and disgusting to have those urges, and encourage them to figure it out and sort that out instead of making excuses for them. Wholesome masculinity is what we need right now. We need real protectors, real fathers, real men. And I hope that that's what we see after all of this. If you enjoyed this video, give me a like, comment, and a follow. Join the Blue Planet Size and Cozy over here. And as always, keep your eyes up, keep your feet on the ground. I'll see you next time. Ta-ta!